Hey everyone, this is a short version of a video I just recently made called Enlightenment for Sale. So, Muji now has and maybe he's had it for a while, I just found out about it. He has a $26 a month subscription to where you get the most intimate and raw and deep satsangs that nobody else has access to. And it's only for the most ripe, those who are in a state of discipleship with satsang in their hearts. So here's the thing. Papaji wouldn't take donations for satsang because Papaji knew what Muji didn't or doesn't care, that money corrupts satsang. End of story. No fully awakened teacher will charge money for satsang. End of story. It corrupts things. Why? Because then the teacher becomes dependent on the students not being enlightened, not waking up. So if someone's charging money, you know they're not a fully liberated being. If they accept donations, it's a yellow flag. It's a yellow flag. But here we have Muji offering a subscription to get the most direct satsangs. And so here's the thing. So what we're talking about is, of course, is enlightenment and unenlightenment, which can be called bondage or being stuck in samsara. So samsara, maya, dukkha, not being in a state of liberation is being in a turbulent sea and drowning. Okay? Not being liberated is being stuck in the cyclical wheel of birth, death, rebirth. It's being stuck in immense suffering. And samsara is so tricky. Like if we just suffered 24/7, then we would all be like, oh, I want out. But samsara just gives us enough pleasure just to keep us hooked in. And so any person who is not liberated is literally turning water in a sea full of sharks. Like literally swimming for their life. And they're going to get eaten or drowned sooner or later. And so along comes a spiritual teacher, a liberated being in a boat, offering their hand to help the person out. Except in the case of Muji, they don't offer a hand, they offer a bill and say, if you want out, you've got to give me money, you've got to give me devotion, you've got to give me service. Someone who's liberated, all they're trying to do is give it away. And any teacher who charges any money, that's all they're doing. They're pretending they're actually not in a solid boat. It's more like they're in a fancy like inflatable tube. And they're going around trying to get people to drowning people. And instead of helping them out, they're saying, give me. Can you see the insanity of that? Can you imagine being on a boat and going up to drowning people and saying, give me? You know, the drowning people are reaching for you and you're like, give me money, give me devotion, give me obedience. If you're hot and young, give me your body so I can use you for sex. Absolute insanity. Can you imagine doing that? Can you imagine? I mean, if you were in a boat and you saw someone was drowning, what would you do? You would just go over and you would do everything you could to help them out. You wouldn't be asking them for anything. You might say, like, look, okay, if you want to get out, you know, I need you to reach for my hand. I need you to like breathe. You know, like there might be some like simple instructions. But that's kind of what we're up against in the 20th and 21st century. And that's how we know that most of these teachers aren't actually awake. Because if they were, they wouldn't be asking anything. They wouldn't be asking in a way that would benefit them. All they'd be interested in doing is helping drowning people out of the ocean. And that's the difference between, I mean, that's the difference between a guru and a spiritual talker. A spiritual talker, I don't even want to use the word spiritual teacher anymore. I'm a spiritual talker. I talk about spiritual things. I point people in the right direction, but I'm not like securely in a boat. I can't lift people out of I can't save drowning beings. And any person who seeks to get anything from the student, that's all they are too. They're just a spiritual talker. They're not a guru. They're really not even a spiritual teacher. In the sense that they teach information. Someone like Muji is basically going up to these people, these drowning people, and being like, this is the way out, but I can't lift you out. Except Muji isn't clear enough in himself to admit that. Instead, he's playing the guru. It's one thing to say, hey, look, this is the way out. But if he was really honest, he would say, you know what, and I'm not fully out yet myself. So I can help you a little bit. But he's not honest. Discernment. At a certain point on the path, discernment is what it's all about, my friends.